Hello! Welcome to Afternoon Adventures with the Chesapeake Public Library. My name is Miss Hannah. I work at the Greenbrier branch. And today we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving. We all know what Thanksgiving is, right? It's one of the biggest holidays during the fall season. Usually, Thanksgiving involves lots of yummy food and family and fun, sometimes football or parades, but this year it might look a little bit different. Just like with Halloween, things have changed and we might not be able to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday the way we usually do. But there is still lots to be thankful for in our lives and in the world around us, and that's what Thanksgiving is really about. So let's start some new traditions or change our old traditions to meet our new normal. We may not be able to see all of our faraway family right now. Maybe you can't go to your grandparents' house, or you can't have aunts, uncles, and cousins come to your house. That's okay. We can still find ways to show that we love each other and we are thankful to have each other in our lives. We can make crafts. We can create cards. We can write letters. I bet your faraway family would love to get something in the mail from you. Or you could do a video call. You could get dressed up in your favorite Thanksgiving outfit and do a video chat with your faraway family and talk about how Thanksgiving looks different at their house this year too. Maybe you don't have to change much about your Thanksgiving. Maybe you still get to enjoy the same foods, but maybe what you enjoy at your house isn't the same thing that your friend from school enjoys at their house or your neighbor down the street. So while some people like to eat the usual turkey and mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce, maybe other families around you aren't enjoying the same things at their family feast. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how people celebrate differently for Thanksgiving, and we've got some great books to read with you. There are lots of other books available at your local branch, so go on in and check those out. We're also going to do 2 crafts, and my friend Miss Joanne is going to join us for those. We are going to do an Indian corn craft. Indian corn is a very colorful version of regular corn, and we're going to glue on a piece of paper that includes some of the things that we're thankful for. We're also going to do a very colorful turkey, and we're going to work on those scissor skills with his special feathers. All right, so make sure you come to the Greenbrier branch to pick up your supplies in order to do the crafts. All right, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for Thanksgiving by Julie Marcus, illustrated by Doris Barrett. Thanks for Thanksgiving, for turkey and pie. Thank you for fall and gold leaves floating by. Thank you for school. I love to feel smart. Thank you for music and dancing and art. Thank you for playdates, for swings, and for slides. Thank you for hopscotch and piggyback rides. Thanks for sweet puppies and soft furry cats. Thank you for dress up, red shoes, and big hats. Thanks for umbrellas, for rain boots, and puddles. Thank you for mommy and warm, cozy cuddles. Thank you for daddy and rides on a sled. Thank you for kisses and tucks into bed. Thanks for the moon and the stars up above. But most of all, thanks for the family I love. A Turkey for Thanksgiving by Eve Bunting, illustrated by Diane DeGroat. It was Thanksgiving morning. Mr. Moose helped Mrs. Moose set the Thanksgiving table. Sheep will sit here. He likes a chair that's straight up and down, Mr. Moose said. Rabbit here, Porcupine here, Mr. and Mrs. Goat here. He smiled at his wife. Isn't it nice to have friends to share Thanksgiving? Mrs. Moose set 2 paper pilgrims, one at each end of the table. She placed the paper turkey with its great fan of a tail between the candles and stood back. They look good, my dear, Mr. Moose said. Mrs. Moose sighed. Yes, but I wish we had a real turkey. Everyone always has a turkey for Thanksgiving. Everyone but us. Mr. Moose nuzzled Mrs. Moose's head. Well, that won't do. I will go this minute and find you a turkey for Thanksgiving. Mr. Moose put on his cap and went out. Mist wandered through the bare trees. The cold made his nose water. Rabbit poked his head from his rabbit hole. Mr. Moose, is it dinner time? Not quite yet. Mrs. Moose wants a turkey. I'm off to find one. Rabbit joined him in 3 quick hops. I'll come too. Moose's warm breath hung white in front of him. Snow crunched under his hooves and made little holes that Rabbit jumped over. I see the goats, Rabbit said. Mr. Goat raised his head and spat out the tin can he was chewing. Is it dinner time? He called. Not till I find a turkey, Mr. Moose said. We saw one down by the river, We saw one down by the river, Mrs. Goat told him, and Mr. Goat added, a fat one. The goats leaped down from their perch. We'll show you. Sheep was further up the hillside, looking round as a fur ball in his winter coat. Is it dinner time? He bellowed. First I have to find a turkey, Mr. Moose bellowed back. There's a turkey nest on the riverbank, Sheep called. Wait for me. The earth smelled of snow and moss as they crunched along. Above them a crow hung, black as a puff of wood smoke. Porcupine was hiding in the underbrush. It's you, he said, and put his quills down. We're off to get a turkey for Mrs. Moose, Mr. Moose explained. Do you want to come? I'm slow, Porcupine said. Pick me up on your way back. Who would want to pick you up? Sheep asked, and laughed his bleat of a laugh. I'll wait, Porcupine told Mr. Moose. They saw Turkey's nest right away, and Turkey himself peering over the top of it. Turkey! Turkey! Mr. Moose called in his sweetest voice. Arr! Turkey blundered from his nest and ran. Mr. Moose lumbered after him. Turkey, don't run. We just want you for Thanksgiving dinner. Turkey ran faster. Do not disturb. Come back after Thanksgiving. No turkey here. Mr. Moose saw the red and blue sheen of Turkey's neck. Turkey's tail brushed crumbs of snow behind him as he tried to fly. Too fat, Mr. Goat said. Turkey's legs bent in the middle as he fell. Mr. Moose put a booted hoof on his head and smiled his great toothy smile. Cut. Mr. Moose saw the red and blue sheen of Turkey's neck. Turkey's tail brushed crumbs of snow behind him as he tried to fly. Too fat, Mr. Goat said. Turkey's legs bent in the middle as he fell. Mr. Moose put a booted hoof on his head and smiled his great toothy smile. I hope you don't have other plans for Thanksgiving, Turkey. He helped Turkey up. My wife won't mind that you're too fat, he said. Let's go. It's getting close to dinner time. They marched Turkey in front. I'm sorry about this, for I can see you don't want to come, Mr. Moose said, but I must insist. A promise is a promise. There was a wreath of dried fruit on the moose's door. Inside, the house was filled with Thanksgiving smells. Mr. Moose hid Turkey behind him. Look who I brought, Mrs. Moose, he said. Sheep, the goats, Rabbit, and Porcupine, and ta-da! He pushed Turkey around in front of him. For you, a turkey for Thanksgiving. Mrs. Moose clapped her hooves. I'm so happy to have you, Turkey. Thank you, Mr. Moose. Now everything's perfect. Shall we sit? Sheep asked, heading for the straight up and down chair. Let's, Mrs. Moose pointed. Rabbit here, Porcupine here, Mr. and Mrs. Goat here, and look, I brought a chair from the other room in hopes of a turkey. A chair? Turkey stammered. Right next to me, Mrs. Moose said. Light the candles, Mr. Moose. There were bowls of acorns and alfalfa sprouts, dried since summer. There was willow bark and cured grasses and wild parsley. There were pressed leaves, thin and pale as new ice on a pond. I hope you find something here to your liking, Mr. Turkey, Mrs. Moose said. I wasn't sure of your taste. You are so kind to worry about my taste, Turkey said. I thought you'd be worrying about how I taste. Heavens no! Mr. Moose smiled his big tooth smile and filled everyone's cup with cold spring water. It's so nice to have friends around the table at Thanksgiving. Turkey's waddles wobbled. It's even nicer to be at your table and not on it, he said. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, Turkey.
Hi everybody, this is Miss Joanne and I'm from Greenbrier Library. So today I want to show you how to do our turkey craft and our Indian corn thankful craft. So when you come to Greenbrier Library, you'll be able to pick up your supplies. I just want to let you know that we're going to give these supplies out with the weaving craft supplies because we're not, because of the hours that we have on that week of Thanksgiving. Wednesday we close early that day at noon, and then we're closed on Thursday and Friday. So we wanted to make sure that you would have the supplies so you could do this. I think the turkey's really cute to put on the table as like a decoration. So because he stands up, and you can even put your name on it if you wanted to when you're done. So let me show you how to do this. You're going to get a body part, a round circle for a body part, and then you're going to get the head. So those will get glued on together. I'm going to give you the beak and the wattle, which is the red part that hangs down. You glue those. I forgot the googly eyes, but we'll give you 2 googly eyes, and the eyes have a little backing on them. They just need to be peeled off and they self-stick. So those are real simple to use. You don't need glue for those. All right, and then to do the feathers, I'm going to give you 5 different feathers, so you'll have all the different colors that you see. On the browns, I put 2 different shapes on them. So hopefully you can see this. One of them I did circle shapes, and one of them I did triangles. And you can see better up here that these are what the shapes look like when they were cut out. So you're going to cut those shapes out. On the other feathers that you get, I'm going to have you do your own shapes, whatever you want to do, and cut them out. Okay, once you cut out your shapes on your feathers, you're going to glue tissue paper onto the back. So that gets glued onto the back once they're cut out, okay? And that's how you can see them through. All right, so there's your turkey. Then this is the tricky part. So let me move these out of the way. I'm going to give you turkey legs. It looks like this. So these 2 slats in the front, you're going to stick it on the bottom of your turkey. And it may be a little tricky. Oh, he worked. If you put them too far apart, it's going to make your turkey fall over. See how he went over on the ground? So you have to put them so he stands up straight. All right, so if he doesn't stand up quite right, you can move them a little so that he does. All right, so there's your turkey. All right, let me move him out of the way. Okay, now for our thankful can of corn, we're going to give you 2 pieces of brown paper, and we're going to give you the yellow part, and we are going to give you strips of color, and you're going to do some more cutting with these. You're going to cut them into little squares. Okay, they get glued onto the yellow piece, and then that piece gets glued into the middle and glued down like this. Okay, so they're all going to be on here like this. And then you're going to get a piece of paper that says, I'm thankful for, and you can write some things on there that you are thankful for this Thanksgiving. Okay, so your family, your friends, being healthy, about your animals or different food that you like, whatever that you are thankful for, you can put on your corn. All right, so those are your crafts for our Thanksgiving program. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and be sure to come by Greenbrier Library and pick up your supplies, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.